Okay, welcome to KJ TV, and today we have a very important guest here, Pastor Leakey Nyaberi, who is the author of the famous book, SOAR. He's here in the studio and is going to talk about the book. Welcome, Pastor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mandy, for having me. I think this is the third or fourth time
you're coming.
I'm coming over here, and I'm so delighted to be with you tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much first of all, for writing such an inspiring book. I have gone through the book. It's quite inspiring.
Thank you.
So we are really treated. I know it will benefit so many people. Now, really the first question I want to ask you, what inspired you to write such an inspiring book, first place?
Well, I want to say that my writing talent was first discovered by Mrs. Linda Sigamoni.
Okay.
While I was studying at Spicer Memorial University. I think having read my works, my assignment, she said, Leakey, you will be a great author.
Okay.
But my writing was really brought to the fore when I was appointed chaplain at Nyaberi Boys High School and later Ronga Girls High School. You know, one thing is clear when you are a chaplain, you must generate content.
Okay.
You must generate content to inspire the boys and girls, to make them think big and to make them aspire for greatness in life. And this thrust me into research, reading, and my presentations were later well received by the teachers and the students. I started receiving calls from various schools to go and talk to them, to universities, to colleges, to churches.
Okay.
And every time I finished talking, people could ask me, do you have a book? Have you written a book? Have you written a book?
Okay.
So from this series of events, I started assembling material for my first manuscript. But on a personal note, you know, growing up as a young man, I was everything.
Okay.
But let me say I was wild and uncontrollable and, you know, naughty. I should say. Unfocused, aimless, going through life aimlessly. And I stumbled on a book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read that book, and that book inspired me. I remember I visited somebody. I met the book. I couldn't sleep. I read the whole book throughout the night.
I know. It's a very interesting book. Yeah. Very, because it's touching about you, and then you see a mistake.
And the book inspired me from my wayward ways and put me on a trajectory that was completely different. That has made me basically who I am. And now I have written this book basically to inspire lives. And there's no better way of inspiring people than writing a book.
Okay. I know people will read the book, but the good question maybe people will ask, what is unique in the book that readers should anticipate to read in a glimpse?
Thank you for that question. The book is beautifully written, and the content is invigorating, I should say. It's not bulky, as it were. Yet, once you start reading it, you will not put it down.
Okay.
We have written it in such a way that it will be an inspiring company to anybody who wants to go for success in whichever area.
Okay.
It uses contemporary and religious wisdom to outline principles for success.
Okay.
And the key tenets are what it takes to earn success. It calls you to contextualize what success could mean to you as an individual, as a person. And once you have made that discovery, it then shows you the way to help you focus on your goals and dreams and aspirations.
Okay.
This book will also show you how to manage your thought pattern so that negativity, you know, especially when the weather is dark and thick, and you know, negative thoughts start to creep into our minds.
Okay.
You know, the sages in all the wisdom books tell us and remind us that what we think, we become. This book will lead you to begin to think positively and guide you on how you can use that as synergy to elevate you to the next level.
Good. Now, on your book, it was very interesting, and there is something unique I picked from your book. You wrote about enemies of success. I think it must be chapter 4, which was quite interesting, and I couldn't get out of it. But there's something I wanted you to talk about. You have talked that one of the enemies of success is success crisis. So I found this very unique and very factual. Can you really expound a little bit about how can success crisis be an enemy of success?
Yes, thank you so much for that question, Dr. Mandy. You know, that is one great tenet of this book, and every author has a favorite.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Chapter. And I think this is one of my favorite chapters, even though I should say that the book is well balanced. It covers many areas that can really invigorate you. I want to say that success has enemies. This book will show you the enemies of success and how you can overcome them in order to achieve success. But let me talk briefly about the success crisis.
Yeah.
To many people, success can bring with it a great crisis, as it were.
Yeah.
It has a way of making people feel big and mighty, and sometimes even haughty and naughty.
Exactly.
You know, it has a way of puffing up people. Some students soon forget their teachers, others disregard their parents, and for some reason known to them, some begin to have a cynical attitude towards those who have helped them in life, including the church. It is important to respect every person, but those who have contributed to your success require special regard. So when you begin to behave disdainfully because you have attained a car, for example, or you have built a house, or you have attained a degree, you miss the point. And this is where many people begin to lose it. Just imagine, there are people who could have gone on to become prime ministers.
Yeah.
There are people who could have gone on to become presidents. There are people who could have gone on to become directors of corporations and all that. But because of a little success, it goes into their head and it becomes a crisis. They can't handle it, and they begin losing friends. They begin living a loner life, and they lose the point. And the main point is continuing to grow.
Exactly.
Continuing to become better and better to a level where your success now is able to serve not only you, but humanity.
Yeah, you know, the reason why it became so interesting to me, I related this topic you had put, and there was one psychologist, I think his name is Steve Baglas, and I had written about a book about success syndrome. So I find it quite almost related, that what he talks about, that when people get success, success becomes a syndrome. And he gives in his book, I think like 4 symptoms of success, 3 symptoms. He calls them 3 A's. That when people get success, they become arrogant, aloof, and I don't know what other, I've forgotten, there is another one, aloof, arrogant, adventurous, and kind of many things, and then they lose their way. So that's why I kind of was very... thank you for expounding on that, and I thought...
I haven't read that book. I will have to read it.
Yeah, but I mean, it relates exactly like what you said about the success crisis. I mean, which actually, and that is very practical. We have seen many people, like, you find it, they go to church, they pray, but when they become successful, Who they forget first?
They forget God. They forget God. They forget God. They forget the pastor. They forget their colleagues.
Exactly.
They even forget their own family.
So, exactly. I thought that was quite very interesting, and it's something people should read.
Life has its own rhythms.
Exactly.
And every rhythm in life is important.
Yeah.
As you grow, as you become successful, you need to guard against the success crisis, as it were.
Very important.
Remember the common saying, be kind to people when you are going up. You may need them
when you
way down.
They will clothe you even
Therefore,
during your
success
burial.
instead should make you humble.
Exactly.
Instead of puffing you up, it should make you humble. The Bible says in Proverbs 16:18, it says, pride comes before a fall. Good. So the greatest lesson of humility is observed in a banana tree. And I have captured that.
Yeah. Can you expound on that? Yeah, I was trying to. That's a very good figurative. Can you explain about
yes. The greatest lesson of success is observed in a banana tree. You know, a banana tree that does not have fruits or bananas, as it were, you will see it standing straight, erect. But a banana tree that has something that people can eat, that a village can eat, it is bent and humble. The more
it is successful,
you are successful, the more humble you should become. In fact, if you were greeting people with one hand before you became successful, it is about time you greet them with two hands, because as you grow up, you discover you only know a certain area.
Yeah.
You only know a small bit.
Yeah.
Of a problem, and that is what you're trying to solve. There are people who know more, so that should make you more humble and more human. Remember,
you made so many rich statements, and we don't want to finish the text of the book, but I thought that was, and you have given an example of a cod. Is it a codfish?
Yes.
Which lays 20,000 eggs, and it does not talk about it.
Yes.
And a hen only lays one. I thought that was interesting. That was you, my need.
Yes, a codfish. You know, the COD, the codfish.
Yeah.
It lays 20,000 eggs, and it says nothing about it. A day.
In a day.
But a hen laying one egg cackles all over the compound, making a lot of noise everywhere. Really, the more you have, the more you have earned, the more you have become, the more the Lord has blessed you, should not be a crisis in your life to an extent where you disregard everybody.
Yeah,
it should make you
becomes
humble and bring you down to the service of humanity.
Yeah, and more especially that we are in a time of social media. Somebody posts a picture on Facebook, he's going to check and see how many likes he has got. Do you think it's something to do with a hair like that?
Yeah, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there, but because people post stuff for various reasons.
For various reasons.
But suffices to say, humility is key
to everything,
to your path to success. And if you read this book critically, you will see those who have become remained humble in life are the ones who enjoy success.
Thank you very much. And there's another one interesting thing I have to read up. I have to put my reading glasses on. I think it's in chapter 9. There's a statement you wrote there, and I want to read it. If after analyzing your friends, you find them decisive, confident, happy, and the prosperous types, then you can rest assured that you are mingling with the right crowd. However, if your friends are lacking in integrity, ambition, enthusiasm, and a disciplined imagination, then you should take immediate steps to break away from them. Can you expound on that?
Unconditional love is not blind love. Unconditional love is not blind love.
Okay.
That is one thing we need to remember. The Bible says, evil company corrupts good morals.
Good morals.
That is Proverbs chapter, 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 33.
Yeah.
If you read Proverbs chapter 4, the wise man says, seek wisdom at all costs. He talks to my son. He says, I was there. I have experienced these things. I know. Seek wisdom at all costs. At all costs. You see, he asks the young man to be careful of 5 things. Number 1, he says, be careful of what you see. Be careful of where you take your eyes. Be careful of what you hear. Be careful of where you go. Be careful of what you eat. And be careful of what you do. If you look at chapter 4 in totality of the book of Proverbs, you discover that friends have a big role to play in making you see things, in making you hear things, in influencing you to where you go, where your feet goes, and what you eat and what you drink, and what you ultimately end up to do. And that is why I have tried to guide the young people especially, and even the elderly. People who add value
to your life,
should be your closest friends.
Yeah.
People who make you better today than you were yesterday should be the people to walk with.
Okay.
Why should you spend an hour with somebody who is gossiping, for example, who is not helping you grow, for example?
Yeah.
And therefore this book is calling us to choose quality friends. It does not mean that we shun people from everybody else from the community, and don't say hi to them, and don't visit with them, But when it comes to growth, when it comes to success, look for people who add value to your life. And for young people, this is what you need.
Okay.
Because many young people have been misled by their colleagues and their friends to live a life that ends up hurting them.
Yeah.
Rather than helping, rather than elevating them.
Okay.
And therefore this book tells us that unconditional love is not blind love.
Well,
and as we love people, let us also choose our friends carefully.
I was going to ask you a question, but you have jumped the gun. Because my question was about that statement is that does this not conflict with God's message of unconditional love? And I think now you have answered that.
No, it doesn't.
How would this advice conflict or affect some church members who may find not worthy to keep as friends?
I am not addressing church members per se.
No, I'm only giving this
when it becomes to church, we love everybody.
Okay.
We treat everybody as equal, and we take care of everybody. But I'm addressing you as an individual. I'm addressing me as an individual. Okay. And I'm addressing this student who is in a crowd of students, some who are interested in music and rapping and all that stuff, and they are not concentrating in their books. They are not working to achieve their goal and their purposes. They are not focused on their talent that God and the gift that God has placed them. They're just following people blindly who are misleading them. These are the people I'm focusing on. Okay. Somebody who can take you away from your family. Okay. Somebody who can take you away from your children. Somebody who wants you to divorce. Somebody who wants you to do things contrary to your values. Okay. These are the people to keep away from.
Okay.
Because they will ultimately cost your success.
Thank you. Now, and you had talked about common sense. And I know you had given an example of school. Even in the school where I attended, St. Joseph's Rapogi, we had 10 rules, school rules. No, 11 rules. 10 of them were what don't do, and the 11th one was always use common sense. So, you have talked about common sense. What can you say about common sense as a way to succeed?
Humans are endowed with special brains that enable them to accomplish great things in life. Those who think and use their senses are able to enjoy greater success. But there is this sense that is common to everybody.
Yeah.
And the sense, a push to do the little things the right way.
Okay.
This is common sense. And this is here that many fail.
Okay.
You know, from making your bed, from putting your shoes at the right place.
That's common sense.
Yes, that is common sense.
That's common sense.
But people assume these things. Just imagine you've come home and you don't have the common sense to put your car key at the right place. But tomorrow you have an interview, and what are you spending time looking for?
The key.
The car key. Then you get late, you miss the job. Who is to blame? The lack of common sense.
Exactly.
And therefore, this book outlines areas of common sense that we all need to spur us to greater success. You know, unless you assemble the necessary ingredients for success and devise a suitable plan for action, you may probably find it hard to succeed. Down through the years, great men and women have expressed their ideas and feelings and shared their wisdom and knowledge through the written word.
Yeah.
It is common sense
To
look for good books.
Okay.
Read. Because books give you knowledge. Books expose you. Books open your mind.
That's true.
And they show you what you are missing. They make you interact with the great minds.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
bring the great minds to your living room.
Yeah.
And those who have used the common sense to pick the book, instead of sitting idly and chatting carelessly and watching nothings, read books, watch programs that invigorate. That is common sense.
Okay.
And that will lead you to greater heights of success.
Yeah. I don't want to ask you so much questions. Let me leave the juice of the book there. But my last question is, how did you come up with the title SOAR?
Well, I should say that I did not come up with the title SOAR. My co-author came up with the title. I have written this book with one Sussy Nchogu, a great friend of mine who lives in Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay.
I stumbled upon her love for writing and reading, and I shared with her my manuscript. She shared with me her manuscript, and our ideas were matching.
Oh, okay.
And so she said, I think we need to call this book SOAR.
Okay.
My idea was, I think we need to call this book Make It Happen.
Make it happen.
But then we compromised and said, let's call it SOAR, Courage to Cut Through Self-Limiting Beliefs. Because we want, you know, there's a difference down here and up there. Up there. Up there.
Up there.
Where the ego flies.
Flies up.
And then no wonder the ego is called the king of the birds. There's no competition. There's no crowd.
Okay.
It is not crowded as down
As
here.
down here.
There's no traffic, as it were.
That's true.
I've never seen a plane that stays in traffic up there. It may happen here and there that a plane can go to another lane, but it's very rare.
Okay.
What we are trying to say is, aspire to go higher than you are today, so that you can live a better life, you can leave a legacy, but most importantly, you can affect humanity.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the wonderful book, and I think you can get the book. There will be a book launch that will be when? On August 16th.
Yes, thank you so much for...
Yeah, if you can talk about it.
For remembering that, and I think it's about time I show the people the book.
Yeah.
This is the book.
Yeah, SOAR.
SOAR, Courage to Cut Through Self-Limiting Beliefs. We are launching this book on the 16th of August 2020 here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We want to invite you to please join us for the launch. You can also get the book at www.mentoringvision.com. www.mentoringvision.com. That's my website. You can order your book online. But I really want, for those of us who are here in Minneapolis, come over, get the physical book, and support this work. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madi.
Thank you for subscribing to our channel, KHTV Dr. Madi Show. As we continue to bring you special programs, please subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to bring you good programs. Thank you for your time, for watching our wonderful video. Thank you.